Welcome to tonight's Poison podcast. What's your poison?
So how you doing?
Great.
Awesome. So nice having Antonio Rodriguez here from Weber Ranch. He's a master distiller for Weber Ranch Agave Vodka. Super excited. I can't say it enough because when this brand I first heard about, I was like a little cheerleader. I love innovation. I love something which I can see that it's going to change the game. And this park definitely does that. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Jess. And I will just change a little bit. You were not a little cheerleader. You were a massive cheerleader for us. And we appreciate that. And especially because that was organic. I mean, you just saw the product, you give it the opportunity, you tasted live, you make your review. And that meant a lot for us because we're new, we're small. So having somebody like you, like, just give his honest review. And more than that, the way you were like interacting with everybody in your comments, because I mean, you saw that it's a new brand, agave-based vodka. So a lot of people is like, what? Agave on a vodka? Doesn't make sense, but you're doing it. And you were like, this is why, this is what I think, this is the flavors. So we really are appreciative of all your support in the early stages.
Well, I appreciate that as well. You know, the reason I got so excited about it is because one, you know, of course, I'm an agave lover. I always loved vodka as well, but lately I've been transitioning to agaves and, you know, was enjoying it. And this was something that you guys launched that I genuinely felt that it was not gimmicky. It was interesting. It had a good pedigree behind it with the Patron, ex-Patron family and stuff like that. And I thought there was something there, and I love innovation. I love something that you know, feel like it's going to change the game and evolve the industry more. You know, without new products, without innovations, I think we will be a little stale. Things don't evolve. So, you know, I'm glad you guys created this. We're going to have a great conversation with Antonio today, talking about Weber Ranch and how it came to be and a little bit of background with Antonio. But first and foremost, welcome to the beautiful New Jersey. A little foggy today. Welcome from Texas. How's the weather in Texas?
It's not as cloudy as here.
Okay.
It's chilly too, but it's always fun being in New Jersey. Besides the weather, there's good people around, good food. So I love being here.
So before we dive into your journey, if you could enjoy a drink anywhere in the world right now, where would it be outside of New Jersey and Texas?
I mean, those are two good options, but I would rather be on a Mexican beach. I like one beach, it's called Punta Mita.
Punta Mita.
It's great weather, great beach. Just having a drink by the beach, a book on my hand, that's all I need.
Are you a reader?
I like to, I try to, but I don't have that many time. But whenever I'm on vacations, I always
That's amazing.
grab a nice book, good drinks by the beach. That's
What
it.
airport is that beach closest to? Where would somebody
Puerto
fly?
Vallarta.
Puerto Vallarta. Okay.
Yeah, and then you drive 40 minutes north
Okay.
and you'll be happy. Trust me.
All right. It's on the list for the next trip. So Antonio, tell me, what inspired you to be a master distiller? You know, what's your journey? How did you get here?
That's a good question, yes, because to be honest with you, I was not like truly pursuing like being a master distiller. I just joined Patron in 2006, actually by chance. I was just like trying to get a job, and people from Patron called me because Patron, former master distiller Francisco Alcaraz, was he came from the same university that I get my degree as chemical engineer.
Interesting.
So he was looking for help, and he just called the school and said like, hey, send me the list of people that is about to graduate. And I was on that list. They gave me a call and I say yes. And that's how I started my journey. I kept learning about it, and I started learning about distillation from Francisco Alcaraz, from David Rodriguez, from all the team at Patron. And I really learned a lot from the people doing it day by day, the people that is operating the pot still, the people that is preparing the fermenters, all those details. When you're there every day, that's when you start learning.
Yeah.
What happened when
You read it in the books, but seeing it, watching people doing it with passion is how you it's infectious, right?
if you're able to see like, okay, it's like today, it's a rainy day, how that is impacting the process. It's a hot summer day, how that impacting the process. So all those variables that you're not gonna read anywhere.
Yeah.
That's when you learn and you see the passion. And
I'll tell you how it impacts me. If I was in a distillery, if it was a rainy, foggy day, I'll put on a sweatshirt. And if it's a hot, sunny day, then I'll put on a t-shirt. I don't know anything behind the scene, but I'm sure as a master distiller, a lot of things are happening behind the scene as far as how the product is handled.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the fermentation is one of key elements on producing alcohol.
Yeah.
And that's hugely impacted by the temperature. So you gotta like make sure that you're ready for the variables that you're gonna have on the environment. And what really gives you the passion to do this is when you're able to see something from beginning to end. What I mean by that is like being able to see how the agave is being planted, is growing, is achieving maturity, and then the whole process, and finally like being with you at the bar enjoying a Weber Ranch is like, okay, I saw how this was born, create, distill, and now creating a good memory by enjoying it with friends. Being able to see the whole picture, that's amazing.
Distilling vodka from agave is such a unique proposition. You know, for the people watching this who might not, or hearing this, who don't know what Weber Ranch is. So first, tell us, how does that come about? And kind of describe for the people watching and listening to this for the first time, what is Weber Ranch?
Weber Ranch is agave-based vodka, 100% agave-based vodka. It's a unique proposition here. And the tricky part is like vodka. Some people have the misconception that it's kind of a boring spirit because you can make vodka out of anywhere, anything. And there's that all understanding of vodka to be odorless, tasteless, colorless, which is no longer the case. So at the end of the day, being able to make a vodka out of agave, it brings all those benefits of the agave, all those flavors, all that heritage that agave has by being on a land for up to 7 years until reach maturity. All the elements that the agave produce, I mean, it takes 7 years to produce those complex sugars that when you ferment those complex sugars end up being super complex alcohols.
Yeah.
And that's where the trick begins, because distilling vodka, basically you just need to achieve a neutral spirit, which is 190 proof. When you are distilling alcohols that are coming from a simple base, like corn, wheat, potato, something like that, the alcohols that those elements produce are much more flat. So distilling a flat alcohol to 190 proof, I'm not gonna say it's easy, but it's not as complex as trying to distill alcohols from agave that are much more diverse and heavier to 190 proof. The challenge is much higher there. And then the biggest trick here is like how you're able to take alcohols from agave all the way to 190 proof and still keep part of those flavors. Of course, you're not gonna get the same intensity that you get on a tequila because tequila usually distill.
But there are little nuances are there, enough for you to know that this is not just vodka. This has that agave influence to it. I mean, at least I got it. To each his own, everybody's different. But I definitely felt it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can taste that fruitiness, that citrusy from the agave.
Yeah.
It all depends how much agave spirit you've been drinking or how your taste palate is. You can find right away that it's agave, and some people might not recognize the agave, but they find those flavors. And my favorite piece on Weber Ranch vodka is the mouthfeel. That mouthfeel comes from two different elements. One, of course, the agave and that complexity of alcohols that it produces. But secondly, the way we distill. We distill exclusively on copper. We have a copper pot still and a copper column still. And we distill extremely slow. We take 24 to 26 hours per batch. And on any distillation, the material, in this case copper, and the speed, the way you distill, that's going to be translated with the quality of the spirit. We wanted Weber Ranch vodka to be flavorful, to have that velvety mouthfeel, but at the end of the day, it's a vodka, so we needed to have also a clean finish.
Yeah,
because
it definitely has that.
It has the best, in my point of view, it has the best of both worlds.
Absolutely.
It has that flavorful element of an agave, but also that clean profile of a vodka. So it can be enjoyed neat for people that like that agave piece.
Sure.
But if you're a vodka drinker, most of the people is going to be through cocktails.
Yeah.
This is super flexible for cocktails too.
Absolutely. Agave has become something that more and more health conscious people are drinking. Agave spirits. More and more people are drinking a little bit less brown spirits, a little bit less wines, and they're going towards agave. Now, I know agave definitely has some health benefits for people who want to eat better, drink better, just be more health conscious. And vodka has them too. So now, having this product, which is basically essentially kind of both. Has the agave influence, which has some benefits. The vodka also, I guess gluten-free, right? Well, everything is gluten-free in some ways in these spirits once you distill it, right?
Yeah, that's one of the benefits. And we mentioned about it. We're naturally gluten-free. And what we mean by that is like we're gluten-free all the way from the inception of the agave. The agave doesn't have gluten.
Correct. There's some misconceptions out there. People feel like if it's not written on the label, like some products don't have it, they feel like it might have it. So it's good for you to clear, but you guys do advertise with it. Talk about a little bit, I'm sorry to interrupt, but talk about a little bit about the benefits of agave and vodka that combine is basically in this bottle, in this glass.
Yeah, at the end of the day, agave has a ton of benefits. Like it's a low glycemic index. So the calorie count of an agave spirit is going to be lower because it's an agave-based vodka. That means that it's even further distilled than a tequila. So it has even a lower calorie count to it. So it's basically the lowest calorie count spirit that you can drink. If you're having a Weber Ranch water, that will be 91 calories. So that's super easy to drink if you're trying to control your calorie intake.
Sure.
Also, the way your body metabolizes the alcohols from agave, it's a much friendlier way than some other alcohols.
Yeah.
When you're drinking an agave spirit, usually it's gonna boost your mood, what they call an upper spirit. So all different elements. If you're drinking an additive-free agave spirit, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want to say that it's healthy because we're drinking alcohol here, but the best choice that you can take if you're trying to enjoy yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my go-to lately has been, Weber Ranch or an agave spirit with club soda and lime, or just water and lime, or just water. It's just refreshing. It's easy. You have a good time, and you feel good about it. And definitely, I haven't had any challenges, obviously, within balance of hangovers and things like that.
Yeah, that's exactly the way I enjoy it. Either on the rocks. I discovered that lemon is really good with it.
Yeah.
That little sweetness from lemon versus lime.
Okay.
That pairs really well with Weber Ranch. So I do like Weber Ranch water with a lemon on it.
Okay.
And that's my go-to.
I've been having a lime, but I will have to switch it up to lemon just to see. I enjoy both. So
that's the beauty of it, because it has the fruitiness of the agave that can go to the sweet side of it, but also has the citrusy on it that can go with the lime and some other cocktails. So
great. So Antonio, what are some of the challenges that you faced while crafting a vodka from agave, and how did you overcome them?
I will say there's two different elements there. One, of course, is the distillation that we were talking about, like super complex to take those heavy and diverse alcohols from agave to 190 proof. But that's one side of the process. But secondly, at the end of the day, agave takes up to 7 years to mature. Right now, this year, there's an over-offer of agave in the industry. We are away from the crisis of there's now agave available here and there. Now we're in the opposite side.
Yeah.
But the challenge for Weber Ranch is like, we are not here just for 1 year or 2 years. We are not doing an agave-based vodka because right now, this year, there's a lot of agave available. We're doing agave-based vodka because we believe in the benefits of the agave in a spirit. But our challenge is how we secure the quality of the agave that we need and the quantity of the agave that we're going to need with the projection of growth that we have.
Yeah.
And for that end, locally, we were able to leverage our relationship with an agave grower that we knew from our early days in Patron, that has been growing agave he's a third generation agave grower. So he knows the business. He knows how to create good agave. And we make a partnership based on the production cost of the agave, which is a key element, because people right now just think on the market price of the agave, and that's two different things. How much money you need to invest every year to have consistency, high quality agave, versus what's the price that the market is going to be paying for agave. It can be crazy high like it was 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Or it can be basically nothing, which is happening right now. In our case, we are outside of those conversations. We are okay. We're a long-term relationship. We know the guy that can do this for several years. Let's make a partnership. And that will overcome the challenge of supply of the agave, which again, right now, it's not a challenge at all because everybody can go there and find agave. But again, we're thinking long-term. Something that is a characteristic of the people behind Weber Ranch is that long-term mentality and doing the right thing. That's why even though right now is very few people is thinking on long term on the agave because how much agave is available.
Sure.
We already put that together before
Yeah.
starting the project.
I think it's you brought up a very interesting point by saying production costs. I think the audience, some people will know this, but I think many will not. So it'll be good to hear from you. When you go in a normal liquor store and pick up a bottle of your favorite vodka or your average vodka, you might be paying $15 to $20 to $25. And then when you look at Weber Ranch, this is on the shelf for approximately how much? What's the average, you think?
$27, $30 in that window.
Okay. So, some people might think, oh, I'm trying something new, agave vodka, but, I'm buying my other vodka for $20 or $22 or whatever it might be. What they don't realize is what a normal vodka costs, production-wise, cost-wise, versus 7 years, 8 years agave, a year plus 2 maybe to kind of replant the agave. So it's almost like a 10-year cycle to produce that agave from scratch and then recycle again in those fields again, correct?
It's totally a game changer because, that's two different things. On the common raw materials for most of the vodkas out there, we're talking about months.
Yes.
To be ready. We're talking about crops that you can just bring machines, harvest really fast. And sadly, something that is going on also, there's a lot of contractors on the vodka industry. There are some huge distilleries you're producing neutral spirit.
Correct.
And there's a lot of different brands just buying from them.
Correct.
And then just basically making a mix, a twist, whatever. And that's my brand. In our case, we're all the way to the planting the agave, waiting for it, because that's a key point. On the early days, and even to this day, there's people saying like, oh, I'm pretty sure Weber Ranch is made with super low quality agave, unmature agave, that you don't care because you're going to be distilling to 190 proof. And it's not the case. That sweetness that you get from Weber Ranch is not coming from anything else from the agave. You're not going to get sweetness of an unmature agave.
Yeah.
So it's all those 7 years. It's actually kind of two different processes because our process begins in Jalisco when we harvest the agave, crush, ferment, distill the first time there. Then we bring the 100% agave distillate to Texas to our distillery. And then is when we complete the vodka distillation there. So it's a super high cost production process.
Absolutely.
But again, it's
the price for this, the quality for this, and the price for this, and what you guys put into it is cost-wise. It's a great price. It's a steal, because you're putting in agave, the cycle of that, distilling it 2 times, taking that juice initially from Jalisco, bringing it to Texas, then redistilling again. It's for $30. It's a steal for the amount of expenses that goes into making something like this versus a regular vodka, versus even a tequila, a regular agave, spirit.
Yeah, it is. If you're on the shelf, if you compare the price of Weber Ranch versus a lot of vodka offerings, yeah, we're definitely on the high side, on the premium side. But it's not because of the brand, it's because of the raw material, the whole process, and the offering of it. And just look at the other perspective. If you evaluate Weber Ranch agave, Blue Weber agave-based vodka versus other Blue Weber agave distillate, we're in the basically more affordable side.
Yeah.
And that's what we wanted to. The main goal behind Weber Ranch was how we make agave approachable for more people. Because to this day, there's people that is trying to get the benefits of drinking a spirit from agave, and they struggle to really enjoy a high quality additive free tequila because it can be too strong for them. With Weber Ranch, you have additive free 100% Blue Weber agave on a vodka offering that is going to have lighter intensity on the agave with all the same benefits.
Sure.
Mixability. It's a good way to start building your agave taste profile. And not every day you want to be drinking a tequila only. So someday you want to have a vodka cocktail. Now you have an option to have your vodka cocktail and not run away from the agave piece.
Yeah. It's funny, when it first launched, I have a friend who's hardcore vodka lover. As soon as this came out, I thought of him. It's like, okay, this is one of the friends that every time I go to his house, he comes to my house. I'm the one having lately agave, and he's the one with the vodka. So now it's something that we both can pour into a glass, make a cocktail, and both kind of share. And we're kind of getting best of both worlds, and we can not have to worry about 2 different spirits, 2 different cocktails or whatever, where it can enjoy the same thing. And we actually did do that, and he started loving it. So it's very, very interesting. This product of Weber Ranch was launched recently, right? Months ago. What was the first month they launched this year, and what was the first state?
The first market launch that we launched were New York, New Jersey, Texas, California, and Florida. We start with 5 states, and that was late May, early June.
Wow. Okay. So yeah,
Now November, we're 35 states.
35 states already.
Yeah, we're fast and furious, and the main
That is unbelievable.
it's been a challenge, especially with the small team that we are. But we knew that this is new, this is different. We want to be the first that is taking this to the world. We don't want to just
Sure.
open 2-3 markets and then open the doors for somebody else, try to do something else, something similar, and then trying to.
No, you guys are definitely the leaders in doing this the right way, 100% Blue River Agave. And the product came out really, really good. It's very interesting because my day job is working for a distributor. I've been in the industry for almost 20 years now. For somebody to launch and be in 35 states in 6 months, it's unheard of. It's very, very rare unless it's a major, major brand just launching another SKU. Then obviously they get it everywhere. But from scratch, I've never heard of it, anybody else doing it. So congratulations to you guys. It's the brand that deserves it. It's very different. And I'm sure the demand was there too. When you talk to other states about it, other markets, other distributors, they're like, oh yeah, this is interesting. What was the different kind of reactions you've received when you first showed this product to different distributors or even consumers?
It's been all over the place. I mean, we have a strong benefit from, again, the people behind Weber Ranch was the people that created Patron. And it's the same philosophy, like take care of the people, do the right thing, working with distributors that we already knew from our previous experience. We enjoy working together. So they were like, go, you're doing something. Yeah, let's find a way to work together. Then you talk about the idea like, okay, vodka being the biggest spirit by volume in the US, and then agave being the trendiest element on the spirits, that makes sense as an idea.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that world, when we start talking to consumers, I mean, the vodka world, there's not a lot of followers or geeky guys that want to know every single detail of the vodka as you have on tequila. So the initial reactions that we have was coming from the agave world, all those tequila lovers, tequila geeks. And I was really impressed that even before we launched Weber Ranch, before nobody else outside the distillery have tried Weber Ranch, they were just saying things like, oh, I don't like it. And I'm like, okay, wait. You haven't even tasted it yet.
Yeah.
If you try it and you don't like it, I respect that and we'll shake hands and that's it. But don't tell me that you don't like something that you haven't even tried.
Correct.
I have that struggle with my son. Like, oh, you don't like that? You haven't tried it. You try it and then you let me know.
Yeah.
But it was some mixed reviews. People like you were like, okay, this is new. Let's try it. You try it, make your honest review, and then start building on and working with that.
Yeah.
Some people that was kind of skeptical, like, oh, why you do take agave to 180 proof? It's not gonna taste like anything. But my biggest win, I will say, is when you see people trying it for the first time. Especially when you see people that they have a preconceived idea, like that's not gonna be good. And then you pour a little bit, they try it, and they give a second try, trying to find like
with a taste. You know, it's not nothing. You know, it's you taste something. There's a finish to it. There's a you know, you get something on your palate, which is very interesting, which is not common. So yeah.
it surprised people. And I always tell everybody that the biggest compliment that I've heard about Weber Ranch is when people try it and say like, you know what? I was trying to hate this thing, but I like it.
Yeah.
Because just thinking the idea is like, no, agave should be tequila or mezcal or something and not vodka.
Yep.
But when they try it and see like it's an offering, we respect the agave. We still carry agave there, but in a lower intensity. You have all those citrus and fruitiness from it, that mouthfeel. So like, oh, it's good. I was not expecting that.
Mhm.
I'll take it. That's all we need. And that's been the commonality that we find. We're doing the right thing by taking the time. It's a word of mouth piece. We're gonna present the brand to people. We're gonna make sure that they try it. But once people try it, everybody likes it. So that's how passionate we are about it and how much trust we have on the brand, that when people try it, they like it. It's just a matter of keep digging, and the sky is the limit for this brand.
Yeah. In the liquor stores and even in bars, you see the agaves expanding over the last few years and the vodka sections shrinking. You came from the agave side, having worked for Patron. You know, when you started working on this project, what's a common misconception about vodka that you think people have out there that you would like to clear up?
I will say the colorless, tasteless, odorless. People think that vodka is just flat alcohol. And sadly, there's a lot of brands that are still like that. And that flexibility that the vodka allows you, because you can make vodka out of anything, can go into different directions. In like, okay, so I will find the cheapest raw material to make my vodka. That's one way to take advantage of it. Or like Weber Ranch, let's find a very interesting raw material and make a vodka out of that. So the huge misconception is that vodka is just flat alcohol. It's not. Different ingredients, different processes will end up with different expressions of vodka. And of course, we love the agave. We know all the benefits of agave, and that's why we're so proud of what Weber Ranch has to offer on the vodka scenery.
So Antonio, a little fun question, from the normal questions that we've been talking about. If Weber Ranch was a song or a movie, what would it be and why?
That's a tricky question. Well, I'm a huge fan of the Marvel movies.
Okay.
So I will go with the Avengers.
Okay.
Because this project was born with an idea that sounded crazy. Let's make agave vodka. But the true part was friends trying to work together again. And people that, we knew each other from Patron, and we enjoy working around us. And then we found a project that were able to put us together again. I cannot tell you, I love being in the spirits and in this industry, but being in a place that you're privileged to work with friends that you admire and respect.
Yeah.
I don't care how difficult the challenge is going to be, you know that you're going to conquer that. So that's what I will say Weber Ranch is. And it's not been easy. Being disruptive in an industry is not easy. You're not going to encounter people just waiting for the product because it's new, because it's hard to understand. But if you're patient enough, if you're passionate enough, and you do the right thing, that will pay off. And then we're on that path. We're already getting massive wins on different accounts with different retailers that get the message and start spreading the word about. And little by little, we're reaching the place that we want to be.
Absolutely. This is like a no-brainer. If a Mexican restaurant has only agave cocktails and things like that, they don't have a vodka cocktail. Now it's an agave vodka cocktail. It makes sense. So those type of wins will definitely be there. And 35 states, 35 markets in less than 6 months. It's incredible. Congratulations.
It's even crazier when you know that the first 2 months were only 3 salespeople in the company.
It's
So
unbelievable.
it's been a challenge. Shout out to those 3 guys, Jeff, Kenny, and Justin. They really work hard about it.
Good guys. I met some of them. So yeah, great guys. Wish you guys the best of luck. In closing, if there's anything else you want to talk to the audience or mention something about Weber Ranch, please, floor is yours.
Thank you. I just need 2 more hours for that, but I'll make it short. No, at the end of the day, just give the opportunity to Weber Ranch. It's a great offering. We're doing the right thing. We know the agave and all the benefits and all of the flavors that you can get out of the agave. We just found that unexplored path on the vodka scenery and taking agave to that. And the main goal was take agave to more people, allow more options to enjoy agave. And at the end of the day, just give it a try. Just try it. I'm pretty sure you're not going to be disappointed. And just don't forget the beauty of this industry. We're making booze for a living and distributing booze, and it should be fun.
Yeah.
It should be a good tool to make friends, to connect with people. What better way to drinking Weber Ranch vodka? Super clean spirit, super flexible, and super friendly for the next day if you're responsible too. So we appreciate all the support, Jazz, and I love connecting to people through spirits, and that's what you do. I love being here with you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Appreciate it, man. Cheers. So thank you again for being here. Appreciate it. I do have a gift for you. This is going to be something new I'll be doing for people I'm doing podcasts with. So back in 2020, we were all going through COVID. I created, in memory of 2020, a challenge coin, which is, military and police personnel use it. I always was intrigued by it. This was a challenge coin I created, which is my logo with almost like a heads and tails. And it's each one of them says 2020 on the side, and you're getting 31 of 100 as a challenge coin for you. So going forward, all my podcast guests, I'll basically give them one of these until I run out, which I'm running low, but yeah, we'll create more and then after that.
Thank you very much, Jazz. This is amazing. I love it. And 31 is almost how old I am. I have something for you too, like part of the first pins that we made with Weber Ranch.
Okay.
Trying to hold the brand, represent it, and you being a massive supporter from us. I'd be really proud if you can carry this with you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
From all the team.
I'm wearing the right color, Stan. We're in the Weber Ranch color, so this is going right on.
It's meant to be.
Can you guys get more of these if I bother you with them? something?
They're part of the family. We'll help you with that.
So people watching this, you know, if you're watching this video, read the captions. I'm gonna get as much as I can get, and we'll do a giveaway, and we'll ship some out to you too. Cheers.
Salud.
Thank you.
Gracias.